Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Ali A and thank you very much for tuning in for another episode. What? What? Oh. I'm not Ali A? Oh. Well, fuck. What is going on, guys? Flossie here. Thank you very much for joining me for another Call of Duty related video. In today's video, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare now that we all know that its multiplayer and everything has basically been revealed over the course of the past couple of days. We've already seen single player, and now we have a pretty good idea of what it's about. So obviously, you know, the first time that everyone mentions that you're going to have this exosuit, and when it was even assumed, I mean, that's basically been the assumption the entire time, that the exosuit and its abilities were going to be in the game. It's just which ones were and weren't, and it pretty much seems like basically everything. And as far as, you know, down to the basics, like the whole, you know, the boost jumping and the strafing left to right dodging and then the dashing while in midair and all of that I'm 100% fine with. All of that is awesome. It's basically playing as infantry in Titanfall, only without the wall running, so it does have its differences there. From everything I've seen, you know, all the guys, Team Martinelli, IGN, everyone, showing everything from Advanced Warfare being at Gamescom, it seems to draw a lot of inspiration from both Titanfall and Black Ops 2, which I don't really have an issue with either of that. Black Ops 2, I absolutely loved. In my opinion, without a doubt, the best Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, unquestionably better than Modern Warfare 2. Probably a more stable game than Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, absolutely love Black Ops 2. And a lot of the things that I really like that they would say in interviews and stuff is that, you know, one thing that Sledgehammer said is that we want to stray away from the Ghosts map design, and the second I heard that, I lost, lol, because, as we all know, Ghosts map design, I mean, you can make the arguments that, oh, it's just different, it's not typical Call of Duty 3 lanes, it's just different, it's not bad. No, they suck balls, they're so shit. And it's really depressing because the rest of Ghost isn't that bad. Ghost definitely isn't the worst Call of Duty in my opinion, but it's nowhere near the best, and the map design is a big old problem. Spawns is a whole other reign of... That's just a list in its own. What's wrong with that? But as far as the map design goes, they wanted to stray away from Ghost, go back to the kind of, you know, 3-lane setup that we're all familiar with, only obviously give it a bit more verticality. Advanced Warfare is going to have a lot of verticality in its gameplay, and that's not necessarily a problem. There's nothing wrong with verticality as long as you can actually pull it off. Whenever you say put it in something like Call of Duty Ghosts, where you don't have the ability to traverse the verticality without like a staircase or something, that's when you kind of run into problems. But with things like Titanfall, Advanced Warfare really reminds me of the older style kind of what's not arcade. Arena. It kind of reminds me of trying to fill that arena shooter niche that we don't really have anymore, kind of that old school Unreal Tournament, Quake, things like that, where you're just kind of in this arena, you know, 5-on-5 or whatever, in this COD's case, you know, 6-on-6. And you just fly around, you have all these crazy abilities that, you know, a standard human being wouldn't have to do. And I mean, the big difference between Advanced Warfare and arena shooters, you typically start out with the same, you know, everyone starts out on the same playing ground with the guns, but as far as, you know, relating to it and kind of feeling that niche, it does remind me a lot of it because of the movements that you have, and I honestly think it's really going to enhance the game. I don't have any issues whatsoever as far as the movement mechanics are concerned. We've seen a decent amount of perks. I think we've seen about 5 perks per, you know, 3 classes, so 15 perks in total, I think is what they revealed. Dead Silence isn't in there. I don't necessarily think that's going to be an issue. Sledgehammer said that they wanted to kind of stray away from perks that are a necessity, and while Toughness is in the game, we'll just kind of have to see how much you actually flinch, because that was definitely a necessary perk in Black Ops 2 and in Call of Duty Ghosts. So we'll see how much the flinch is. People generally say the flinch isn't too bad, but, you know, like we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. We have a couple of new perks, obviously, some new guns getting thrown in there. We had the same standard classes that we always do, only one thing. If I can bring one thing back from this Gamescom multiplayer reveal that makes me happier than anything on the face of the planet, some people might get their panties in a bunch here, but light machine guns just don't even exist in Advanced Warfare. Like, when the second I heard that, I was just like, praise Lord Jesus, heavens and Christ, because LMGs pretty much single-handedly destroyed Call of Duty Ghosts. Don't get me wrong now, you can put LMGs in games, and there's nothing wrong with LMGs, but how they are specifically in Call of Duty Ghosts, they could be an issue in Black Ops 2, but in Call of Duty Ghosts specifically, they can be exploited to just extents that we have never seen in a Call of Duty game before, at least as far as light machine guns are concerned. And that's honestly, that's another sad thing, is that that's probably one of the big things I'm going to remember about Ghosts, because there's not any I mean, there's a couple of decent maps in the game, but as far as you know, I'm gonna remember pretty mediocre maps, the worst spawns in Call of Duty history. Don't care what you say, they're the worst spawns ever. Don't know what happened there, but I'm also gonna remember that one little, whatever you want to call him, a camper, a bushwookie, a McDoodle, a shithead, a cockfag, whatever you want to call that guy who is in a ghillie suit with an M27 with a thermal sight proned out in the back of the map. That destroys Ghosts in every way. And like I said, there's not wrong in having LMGs, but I think a big problem was definitely just allowing these easy mode sights on the guns in the first place. Just kind of was just the first step in a really bad direction. Also, as far as thermal sights go, I believe there is a thermal or infrared style. From the looks of it, it looked a lot more similar to Modern Warfare 2's, only different colors. And they also have this kind of, what looks like a tracker sight kind of millimeter scanner like mix, and I'm not a huge fan of the sights that do those, that highlight enemies and everything. I've never been a fan of them since they were introduced in COD, and they can be balanced. The millimeter scanner wasn't that bad, and I actually think the tracker sight in Ghosts isn't, you know, all too powerful. It's at a decent balance point, but things like the Ghost thermal sight, the Black Ops 2 tracker sight, I'm extremely discourage those sights being put in games. I don't like them. I don't, you know, in Call of Duty, when it comes to a face-to-face gunfight, you know, it's going to come down to skill. And when you have these tracker sights that you can just see people highlighted, like, you know, with a highlighter across the map, then, I mean, it just kind of takes away the fun of it, especially when you get shot in the back if you do get into an engagement with someone. And that's another thing about Advanced Warfare, is that the learning curve is going to be very interesting, because I feel that because of the movement and the thing that I am going to trademark as the sidestep, which is the dodge on the ground to the left or to the right. Sidestep just sounds better instead of exo dodge. But things like that's going to add an entire new layer of a gunfight. And I feel that those who aren't very good at mastering other things like that aren't going to be very good, and the people who can are going to excel extremely. So I think the learning curve is definitely going to be significantly higher for Advanced Warfare. And I have no issues with that. I definitely prefer skilled gunplay over the IMS, the thing I'm using. Speaking of kill streaks, we have customizable kill streaks. I think that's really cool. The co-op kill streaks, I believe that's actually an attachment. You can choose whether or not you want your kill streaks to be cooperative, and then someone can jump in them once you've called it up. I also think that's pretty cool. Sledgehammer's talked about how they really want all of the kill streaks, or I'm sorry, score streaks. Score streaks also are back, obviously. They're not kill streaks, they're score streaks, which is technically they're score streaks in Ghost, but they're much more similar to Black Ops 2. Like I said, this game has a lot of inspiration from Black Ops 2. But anyways, Sledgehammer really said that they wanted their score streaks to kind of be player controlled, as in they don't want the score streak, you to earn it and then just go in and do all the rest of the work for you. So you're going to be controlling a lot of the score streaks in the game itself, and I don't really have a problem with that at all either. Speaking of core streaks, they are customizable within the create a soldier or create a, I forget what they call it in Advanced Warfare, but it's in your create a class basically, because they brought back a modified version of Pick 10 called Pick 13, and so far this is definitely, in my opinion, the best customization class that any Call of Duty has ever had. I loved Pick 10 in Black Ops 2, and Pick 13 looks fantastic. It's basically Pick 10, only your exo abilities are obviously added in because they're new, but you can also modify your score streaks. So you could say take off 2 score streaks, and then, you know, you have 2 extra perk slots, or you can actually throw on a wild card and then have 4 kill streaks. Score streaks. I mean, stop saying kill streaks. And I think that's actually really cool. That's really good customization. I love it. when games have customization to that detail, and COD's definitely been missing it for a long time, as well as the personal customization. The personal customization looks absolutely phenomenal. There's so many different things that you can customize on your character, plus there's the virtual lobby, which is this new thing that I think is actually pretty cool. Whenever you're in the lobby and you can, like, creating your class or creating your soldier, you can actually hit a button and you'll instantly load up in this virtual lobby while you're waiting for the timer to tick down for the match to start. And, you know, you can test out a gun. Say you just unlocked a gun you never used before, you can test out its recoil, see how that goes. You're messing around with attachments, you'll get a better idea of what it's going to be like once you're actually in the match. And it's just little things like that that I really like that Sledgehammer is adding in the game. Another thing that's really kind of small, but I really like, is that the mini map is getting much smaller. They're kind of reducing the clutter on your screen. There's actually now an accurate, you know, number countdown system to show you how close you are to your next score streak. I mean, just all these little things. Like I said, they definitely have a lot of inspiration from Black Ops 2, and they also, in a way, they have an inspiration from, I guess, some of the good things in Ghosts. Like, they haven't taken much from Ghost, but they do, like, take a number of perks that Ghost had, where there were like 30,000 different perks, and basically combine like 3 into 1 types of deals. I actually prefer that. I definitely prefer, you know, a smaller amount of perks. Ghost is just a bit too much. But Sledgehammer Games basically said they wanted to go back all the way to Call of Duty 4, take all the games, spread them out, and look at them in detail. See, you know, what did people like, what did people not like, what worked, what didn't work, what was good, and what was bad, and they basically build upon that with their whole new system, you know, all the new mechanics and everything, which, like I said, is kind of not really inspiration of Titanfall, but I mean, Titanfall is the most recent game to have things like that, so that's just what I'm going to compare it to. It's very similar. Other than the wall running and wall hanging. What else is there? The exo abilities. I know there's a lot of controversial stuff. Obviously, the movement was like the first big thing. Like I said, I don't have any problem with the movement. As far as the controversial things like the exo cloak, from what I've seen in the first person and third person perspectives of it, it actually doesn't look that bad. Once again, it looks similar to Titanfall's, and as long as you're paying attention, you can easily see a person who is cloaked and pick them off. So I actually don't think it's even going to be really that useful. Plus, all the exo abilities run off your battery timer, which is used once a life, so you can only cloak once a life. And they all seem to last, you know, maybe 5 to 7 seconds. So they don't even last very long. You can't recharge your battery. There's a wild card or perk or something that allows you to extend the battery life. But I don't think the cloak will be an issue. I do have slight concerns for, I forget what it's actually called, but it temporarily boosts your health. I was not a fan of the ballistic vest in Call of Duty Ghost, and from what I've heard, it's not anywhere near as much. It's like survive extra 2 bullets rather than the ballistic vest, which is very good to hear. Like I said, I mean, what else is there to talk about? Let's see. Exo abilities, for most of those I've seen, like I said, those fine. I really like what they've done with score streaks. Pick 13 looks incredible. The personal customization, the virtual firing. Oh, also the new thing is the virtual lobby whenever you're waiting for your match to start, which is actually really cool. It's kind of an alteration of Ghost where you can see everybody's character in the match, but you can actually like switch through and it'll like change perspective, and you can see all the way down to, you know, what kind of armor pieces and stuff they're wearing. And also really like that. Real quick before I forget, the on my point earlier about the light machine guns, they've actually been replaced. Technically, they've been replaced with a new heavy weapon class category, which does differ in the type of weapons, I believe, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly the new kind of concentrated energy weapons. And from what I have seen, you know, once again, this is all going from, you know, assumption and my own perspective and opinion of how everything looks, because I didn't get to actually play the game because I'm a broke-ass bitch and I get to sit here at home and watch T. Martin and Ali A play it. But from what I've seen, the concentrated energy weapons look like they pretty much have infinite range. The catch is, obviously you don't have to reload an energy weapon because it's based on a heating up overheat system and will overheat, therefore you never have to reload. But from the looks of it, they actually kill a decent bit slower than, say, an assault rifle. So hopefully those will be balanced pretty well. I think that they will. They look like they're balanced pretty well so far. What else is controversial that I'm thinking of? Oh, there's lots of different types of grenades. Also, the launcher is another one of the abilities, or I think it's the exo launcher, that you're allowed to fire things from your fist with these little guns, kind of how you could in the campaign of Black Ops 2. I actually really like that. I like most of the grenades I've seen. Definitely one of the controversial things is another thing. that I'm a bit nervous about, just because I haven't experienced it yet, is the threat detection grenade, where you can throw a grenade and then have it, you know, kind of see enemies through walls within the range of the blast. That I don't know how I feel about. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about the ballistic vest-esque type of ability to temporarily increase your health. I don't think it'll be that big of a problem, simply because exo abilities are one-time use per life, and you can't recharge them or anything. So hopefully that'll be good. We haven't seen these smart grenades yet in the multiplayer that were in the campaign that kind of like hawked people down across the map. I feel that Sledgehammer wouldn't put that in multiplayer, but like I said, it could be there. I know there's like 10 different types of grenades, which is very new, but I think that's basically to make up for the lack of equipment and IED-esque things. I haven't seen any type of IED thing. I saw an explosive drone, but you can put on perks and stuff to allow him not to see, and that's like a proximity thing that's, you know, typical to the equipment in Call of Duty. We always have a Claymore or a Betty or an IED, and I'll take anything over an IED, pretty much, because at least you can avoid the other things. Maybe not necessarily a Claymore, at least a COD 4 Claymore. You could, Modern Warfare Claymore couldn't kill you if you stood on top of it. But the Call of Duty 4 Claymores could get a bit annoying, but they're still nowhere near as bad as the IEDs from Call of Duty Ghosts. And I apologize for this. I'm not trying to hate on Ghosts while I'm talking about this. It's just we've been playing Ghosts for a long time now, and I'm legitimately excited for Advanced Warfare. Like I said, it looks really promising. And this is the first time that I've been excited for a Call of Duty since I was waiting for the Modern Warfare 2 release. So, I mean, it's been a long time. I wasn't even excited for Black Ops 2. That was just a pleasant surprise that I did enjoy that game. Ghost, on the other hand, I actually waited to even pick up, and I understand why I waited. Like I said, not trying to hate on Ghost. Ghost isn't a terrible game by any means, but it's nowhere near the best Call of Duty. Trying to think of what else to talk about. I mean, there's so much. Like, there's so much to talk about, but there's also so little, because I can't explain everything. In order to explain everything, you know, one, we all have to just wait until November to play the game, and two, you really just have to go watch the videos on it. If you guys haven't seen all the videos, the trailers, the videos that are being posted by everybody, the FaZe group, Allier, T Martin, Drifter, Prestigious Key, everybody's throwing up videos left and right. Feel free to go check those out. I may leave their channels in the description, as well as the links to some trailers, gameplay, things like that. What am I missing? As far as the single player goes, I'm actually pretty excited to play it. They look like they've spent a lot of their time working on that, and Kevin Spacey is a phenomenal actor. So hopefully we'll actually have a single player campaign that's, you know, above average for the first time in a while. And there's also a cooperative mode that they have yet to announce. I might make a video on that later. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that I didn't bore you for too long. This is just some random Ghost gameplay in the background. I don't even remember what it is, honestly. But if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, favorite, or subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, stay flossy out there.